bowl prep and just preparing to lead this offense?
Yeah, super excited. It's obviously a great opportunity for me. Being a freshman, just kind of getting real experience before you enter the SEC next year. So I'm super pumped up for this opportunity.
How much has life changed for you since this kind of
Not much, just more reps at practice.
What's your relationship been like with Seth?
It's been good. I've been close with Coach Luttrell since he got here. Constant communication since he's got here, and he's helped me develop as a player, even not in the OC role. And it's been great to get to know him, and I'm super happy he's our OC now.
Did Dylan have any message for you when he left?
Yeah, he just told me to just have fun and ball out, and I hope we see him down the line next year.
Are there some extra nerves that come with knowing this bowl game? You have 2 whole weeks to think about it leading up.
I think definitely the day of there'll be a lot more nerves than normal, but right now I'm just staying level-headed. I'm just getting prepped for the bowl game right now.
Did you have to step back and reevaluate things at all when Coach Levy left, or was it never a decision?
There's always stuff to reevaluate when change happens. Obviously left Coach Levy, his scheme, his coaching, what he had to offer for me. But, when he went to Mississippi State, and especially with who we hired, I knew I was in the right spot.
How much did that BYU experience help you going into this bowl game, rather, if you hadn't played since September?
I don't know now, but I'm sure when I get into the bowl game, I'll be grateful of my experience in BYU, getting put in crunch time in a probably not ideal situation. I think it'll be huge for me come bowl game.
We know you love football and practice and all that type of stuff, and that's kind of what your role has been this year. But how different is it walking out here? You say you get more reps, but is there a lot more excitement to practice now for you?
No doubt. Practice you gotta practice, but as a backup, it does kind of suck a little bit coming out knowing you're not the guy and you're taking less reps, and there's obviously a bigger excitement level coming out. Knowing you're the guy and knowing you're gonna go out and play.
Going back to Seth, is there anything in particular you can pick up or let us know about that he helped you out with either this year or in this last couple of weeks?
Just helping me out with run schemes. He was big in that part of the game plan at UNT, talking about run schemes. So just kind of teaching me how some of those work. And honestly, for me and him, we were both kind of learning together in the spring. He's coming in trying to learn Coach Levy's terminology, and so was I. So we kind of fed off each other in the spring.
You've seen a lot of portal movement at the running back position and on the offensive line. How do you build chemistry in these practices leading up to the bowl game with a lot of new faces?
I'm just getting reps with these guys. We've got a couple new faces. Some young guys will probably get some opportunity in the bowl game, but just getting reps with them right now in these first couple weeks. We're not even really in bowl prep yet, we're not even in game prep yet. We're kind of just getting back in the groove of things now, but getting reps with these guys early on will help us in the bowl game.
Did you have a pretty good idea that Dylan was going to leave, or were you sort of waiting on his decision?
Waiting on his decision. I didn't know where he was going to go with his decision. Portal or NFL or coming back another year. I really didn't know. But, I'm super happy for Dylan, and he's got a great opportunity and a great future ahead of him.
With the way quarterbacking is around college football today, most people don't sit around much. If he'd have come back, were you prepared to have to move on, or what was your mindset on that?
I would have had to evaluate where I was at here for sure. I was not swayed either which way on what I would have done, but obviously when something like that happens, you have to take a step back and see.
It appears that everybody in charge here has supreme trust and confidence in you. In other words, there's not a lot of wailing and gnashing of teeth that they lost a quarterback like Dylan Gabriel. You take that as a sign of respect for what you can do?
Definitely. Having the coaches' trust is a huge thing for me, and knowing that the coaches are trusting me to go out and perform my best, and they're not changing the game plan whatsoever. We're running the same stuff, and we would have run the same stuff if Dylan was here too. So just that trust they have in me is really special to me.
What is the biggest thing you learned from Dylan, or biggest things?
I want to say Dylan kind of taught me how to be a really good college quarterback and perform at the highest level. He had a stellar year this past year, and the way he handled himself, it was super awesome to see. Not only him as a player, but him as a person handle everything. It just kind of taught me, to be calm, collected, level-headed, and then, you know, off the field, he helped me out with learning the offense, whether that was, you know, installing plays or, you know, keying defenses and defensive recognition. He helped me out with all of that.
How much more comfort do you feel when you look across? You know, you have Danny and Billy both coming back next year along with you.
Yeah, that's huge. Having experienced guys like that heading into the SEC is obviously big for our defense, and you know, I think our defense is going to take a step forward next year because of that.
What'd you think of the video?
I thought it was awesome. I was actually with our when Danny posted that, I was with our camera people just talking to them, and we were just talking about the video, but they did a great job on it, and I thought it was hilarious. It was very Danny-like.
Have you learned much about Seth in the couple of practices that you've gone through with him yet, in terms of what kind of coordinator he's going to be or how different he'll be?
A little bit. You know, it's hard for Coach Luttrell because we're still going off of Levy's plays and his terminology right now. So I won't see Coach Luttrell kind of take over and implement his style and stuff on that till the spring. But so far, I've seen him step into a more vocal role, especially in our meeting rooms, and that was something I was very curious to see. You know, knowing him coming from an analyst to the position as an OC now, I was curious to see that transition, and I think he's stepped up and been a more vocal leader for us.
I've had two different guys talk about him, and one said, big on the run, loves the running game. The other guy said, he loves to throw. He's going to throw it all over the place. Can you break the tie?
He's very balanced. He loves to run the ball and he loves to throw the ball. There's not one thing he specializes in, but you know, being a H-back as he was, he's a tough guy. So obviously, you know, he's gonna love to run the ball. But he's a very balanced OC, and I'm super excited to get to work with him.
He talked about you know, curious seeing how he was going to react when he got in front of everybody. Can you tell that he's been a head coach just by his mannerisms up in front of you?
You can, no doubt. The first day of meetings, just stepping up and addressing us, he was very calm. Had a very strong and poised demeanor about him. You could tell he's been here before.
Does this feel like a new season? I mean, it's in theory the end of a season, but does this bowl prep and the game itself, it almost feels like the start of a new season. With all the changes.
Yeah, the first two practices, like yesterday and the day before, were a little off. You know, having a new OC, not having Dylan here, it was a little off. The energy was off a little bit, but I think today was big for us as a group. You know, getting our mojo back and kind of getting things rolling again.
What do you think helped turn that energy? Is it just starting to be more comfortable?
It's starting to be more comfortable, for sure. Just, you know, meetings today were great. Practice today for the offense was great in my eyes. Yeah, just being more comfortable and getting used to the people around us.
How big of a role do you play in that?
Shoot, it's hard to say because, you know, being a backup all year, it's a weird position for me to kind of step up and be a leader in that position, but now I feel like I now have to step up and be a vocal leader and just, you know, kind of be the glue for this offense heading to the bowl game.
Going to high school in Denton, how aware were you of what Seth was doing in North Texas with Mason Fine and that kind of group?
Yeah, the past couple of years before I got up here, you know, you could obviously, we're so close to North Texas, you hear about it all the time, but I mean, they were having a bunch of success, especially offensively. So, I mean, obviously, Coach Luttrell is running that offense there, so I'm super excited for him to bring it here.
Think back to exactly 1 year ago today, you were getting ready to sign with Oklahoma. What do you remember about the week leading into signing day, and are you where you thought you'd be a year later?
Gosh, it's kind of weird that it was a year ago today. It honestly feels like it's flying by. And yeah, I'm exactly where I thought I'd be a year from now. Maybe not. You know, I thought Dylan would be here and playing the bowl game, and this year has pretty much gone as I've expected, but you know, maybe the bowl game, me playing it was a little bit of a shock, but I mean, I'm super excited for it.
What would it mean to you to help get this team to an 11th win before heading to the SEC?
It'd mean a ton, and especially just create momentum for next year too, you know, getting the first win with our new O staff, because you know, it's pretty revamped. Coach Leb took a couple guys, and the O staff room's different. It is. I mean, we obviously have guys here that we've had the entire year, but just getting a win with this staff is going to create a lot of momentum for us heading into the spring and heading into next year.
Jackson, have you had a moment when you realized that maybe you were seen differently, treated differently in the locker room, going from the backup to the starter? Has there been any sort of moments you're like, oh, that was different than it might have been?
No,
before?
not really.
Okay.
All the guys have treated me the same since I've got here. I'm super grateful. They've all been great for me. Great teammates all around. So yeah, just building on that.